to Gluten Free with Dani and Me. I'm Dani.
I'm Melissa.
Also known as Me. Today for us, gluten free is the way to be. And today we'll be telling you how to make Southern fried chicken gluten free.
And it's so tasty. So I'm gonna let Miss Danica get started. So we're gonna test your taste buds every week this year with gluten recipes that we turn into scrumptious gluten free. We'll also give you tips and tricks along the way. So feel free to ask any questions you'd like. First off, I'm just gonna, before Dani gets into it, we have pre-mixed our spices, we have our flour, and we've pre-done some of our chicken. So she's gonna explain how we got to this and show you what to do. And then I will work the burner. So I'm gonna turn it over to Miss Danica.
And if you like this video, stay tuned for the rest of the weeks this year for some scrumptious, gluten-free, delicious recipes. The spices that we use in this little bowl are oregano leaves, Southern baked chicken spice.
And if you don't want to make our recipe, but you still want like a shake and bake for the Southern, you could try just this. It is still pretty good, but we'll tell you why we wanted Southern fried chicken in just a minute.
Poco picante and some pepper.
With turmeric. Yeah. So we do a low sodium, so there's sodium in the Southern bake and the pico picante, which is why we haven't added it.
Oh, it's poco picante.
Poco picante. There's a pico picante as well, but I like it spicy, so it's poco. So Dani's gonna get some meat ready
and we're gonna pound it.
But first she's gonna wash her hands.
Yes.
You don't want to have dirty hands.
I already did that before. Okay.
So while she's washing her hands, I'm just mixing this around a little bit. I'll explain why we like this Southern fried chicken. So when I was younger, I had an aunt come up from the US and her friend made us the best Southern fried chicken. It was so good, and it was such a good memory. We just recently went to Florida to go to Disney, and on our way we had to stop in where?
South Carolina.
Woohoo! And we decided to forgo our illness because both of us get sick off of gluten.
She has celiac and I just didn't have it.
So we decided to forgo and get sick and be okay with it and have a little bit of Southern fried chicken. But it was probably the biggest mistake we made because now we crave it all the time.
And we wish we were gluten-free.
So we decided to come up with a special recipe for it.
I am going to pound this meat. Mom, do it. They can't see the captain.
Okay, just 1 second.
As you can tell, I like to pound meat. I'm very good at it.
It's a good way to get rid of frustration. Okay, and that is perfect. So we're gonna do nothing with that chicken right now. That's just more or less to show you. You would then put it into your bake. So in your bake, what is in this bowl is 1.5 cups of buttermilk. Now if you're gluten-free, you have to be very careful as to what buttermilk you get. I found one here local in Nova Scotia because that's where we are. That is Farmers. Buttermilk does not affect me. Plain salt can affect people with celiacs, but because it can have flour in it. So luckily, theirs doesn't have that type of salt, which is good, and I love it. So I put about 1.5 cups, and then I put 2 tablespoons of this mixture into here. So we used the Southern Bake with the pico picante, or the poco picante, the turmeric and pepper with some oregano, and I really mixed it in. So now that we have this beautiful bake, we want to take that and make the crispy chicken. So I'm going to take the rest of the spice and put it into our 1 cup of gluten-free flour that we get from Epicure as well. We kind of like our Epicure spices in here because we don't have to worry about what's in them.
And
they're super tasty too.
And here's a fun fact. If you're ever going out to a restaurant for dinner, lunch, or breakfast, and you're gluten-free, do not go to McDonald's. We have nothing against them, but everything there is contaminated with the gluten, and that could actually seriously hurt some people. So we have nothing against them, but they are dangerous.
Yes. So with the reason we made the mixture early is because you have to let it set for 4 to 6 hours or overnight. So you'll see there's scoopable sauce. You want about 2 good tablespoons of that sauce. So a lot of people will put their mixture with the chicken into freezer bags and just put it into the fridge. You have to make sure you really rotate that quite a few times so that you get that delicious buttermilk everywhere. Who likes that buttermilk? So she's gonna start mixing that. I'm gonna turn on my oven to low.
And this is what it looks like so far. You might be wondering, how does this turn into southern fried chicken? It does.
So
No, I thought this was our chicken. Why are you taking over?
Nope, you can take over. So I just wanted to say that I'm cooking with a pot of oil over there. So I'm heating up the oil. I've worked in kitchens a lot when I was younger, so I'm very used to it. I'm very comfortable with it. So I would not do it if I was not comfortable with it, but I will not let Danica do that part. So my only tip is if you're watching this and want to make our chicken, make sure you either have a deep fryer or you're very wise, because a vat full of oil on your oven could cause a huge, huge fire. And I don't want to give you a reason to have a fire.
Mom, I'm taking over now.
Okay.
You're not allowed to talk.
Okay. You keep talking.
Okay, so while she's mixing that, I'm going to tell you some fun facts about gluten. Gluten, you're like, what is gluten? I mean, I'm not gluten-free, but I don't know what it is. Gluten is wheat. It's in bread, cookies, brownies, cakes. So much that I can't even list any. Like, all the things will probably be from the moon to back to, like, infinite times. There is so much gluten stuff that probably all your favorite things are contaminated with gluten. I'm going to tell you a couple things that aren't contaminated with gluten properly.
Okay.
We got apples, or all fruits, most vegetables, because wheat is actually a vegetable, and, well, you know, gluten.
So if you want to see the consistency here, it's a little clumpy. It's not like your normal flour because we put that mixture in. So now it is ready and time for me to take the chicken from here and batter it over this and then put it in and fry it up. So the reason we chose this meat, as you can see, it's a thinner piece. You don't want a really thick piece because then you would have to pre-cook some of it. You don't want to pre-cook if you're gonna have the delicious stuff in the buttermilk. So I'm just gonna dip it in here so you can see it a little bit. You want to get every single inch of that.
Wait, where did you get that chicken bone from there?
Yeah.
And
so you
also,
can see it has kinda, I don't want the chicken, it's got that crispiness on it.
Also, if you are looking for a delicious cookie or a granola bar or a Rice Krispie square even, that is gluten-free, made good is the way to go. They're delicious. This is not sponsored, but they're delicious.
Plus, we will be making some from scratch at some point. So I'm just going to gently start frying, and she can talk you through some of her favorite memories of going to Disney.
Okay. Also, the second you put that chicken in, you're going to want to hear that sizzling. If you don't, your oil's not hot enough, and you need to start over that piece.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to it crackle.
Yeah, listen to that crackle.
Okay.
So if you do decide to be risky like me, you want the big tall pot. Dani, if you move a little bit to your...
And here,
so we can see the pot. There's the pot. You want a high pot and only a little bit of the oil on the bottom, so that if it does splatter, it's just splattering to the top. So I'm only going to do about 2 more pieces, and we'll do the rest off tape. But I'm going to let Dani explain what she loved about South Carolina. We love so much about South Carolina.
And my experiences
in Disney.
And New York.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So since we're making Southern fried chicken, I might as well explain South Carolina. South Carolina is a hot place, beautiful, and I love it there. I wouldn't live there because, well, I like my house here and everything. But it is a very nice place to stay, and if you really want a place to stay in America, I suggest South Carolina. Their chicken is awesome. Their fries were just stunning, and I just can't even get into any of the other foods. They're all so delicious, and I just wanted to eat them all. But, of course, we had to go on. And it was too bad that I couldn't eat them all because they were so delicious. So we're probably going to have some more southern foods.
But next week, we're going to tantalize your taste buds with some homemade brownies.
I thought you were doing croissants.
Oh, I guess we're doing croissants next week.
You have to wonder, are we doing brownies or are we doing croissants? No one knows. Anyways, my experiences in New York, I've always wanted to go there my whole life. So, here's my experiences in New York, the big city life. So, when we got there, it was pretty hard because there was lots of cars, and the second I stepped out of the subway that got us to, was it Times Square?
Yep.
To Times Square, I had a happiness overload. I just ran like in circles basically. I was so happy because I wanted to go there the whole life, and then I finally got there. And let me tell you, we weren't supposed to go to Olive Garden because we weren't going to make it. We would have to drive until like 1 or 2 a.m. and wake up at 6. Just didn't make sense. So, when we were in Times Square, I was lucky enough to look to my side and spot a big Olive Garden. And let me tell you, Olive Garden is delicious. You have to eat there, or what are you doing in life? But they do have some gluten there, so watch out.
But they do have mean gluten-free.
Eat. And we went to the Disney store, and can I show them Stitch?
Yeah. So here is our Southern fried chicken.
And this is Stitch.
And that is Stitch. And that concludes our first ever episode
We hope you enjoyed. If you did, then you can put a like below. Maybe subscribe.
And watch our blog, or watch for our blog post, which we'll post tomorrow.
And don't forget to click the notifications button, or you might miss some of our videos, which would be terrible.
It would be very terrible. We hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.
And bye!
Bye.